Dear students, this is lecture number 3 for third week of second term. In previous two discussions, we talked about unit number 2, kinematics, and we talked about motion and then terms associated with motion, that is position, distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. In two previous lectures, we have developed the concept of motion in words and equations. Now, we are going to describe motion in more sophisticated graphical language. So let's start. Graphical analysis of motion. Graph is a pictorial way of presenting information about the relation between various quantities. The quantities between which a graph is plotted are called variables. One of the quantities is called the independent quantity, and the other quantity, the value of which varies with the independent quantity, is called the dependent quantity. Dear students, as this is a new concept for you and a little bit complicated, so let's make it more simple and more illustrative by the following discussion. As generally, we can draw a graph by drawing two perpendicular lines. One line along the x-axis is called horizontal line, and the line which is drawn perpendicular to the horizontal line is called vertical line. So usually it is x-axis and it is y-axis. So independent quantities are taken along x-axis by some equal marks, and dependent quantity is taken along y-axis by some equal deviance like this. So this is the general overview of the drawing a graph. As far as our present discussion is concerned, we always take time along x-axis and the quantities like distance or velocity along y-axis. So here students, as in graphs, we only concern about the numerical magnitudes. That's why we call this as distance, and this v is symbolized as speed. So there are two kinds of graphs that are to discuss the motion in kinematics. The first is called the distance time graph, as shown here. It is called distance time graph. And the other one is speed time graph, like this. Again, time is taken along x-axis and the speed is taken along y-axis. So this is distance time graph, distance time graph, and this one is speed time graph. So we are going to study distance time graph and speed time graph. So let's first discuss distance time graph. It is useful to represent the motion of objects using graph. The term distance and displacement are used interchangeably when the motion is in a straight line. In a distance time graph, time is taken along horizontal axis, while vertical axis shows the distance covered by the object. That is, we also just discussed it. This is horizontal axis, and time is always taken along horizontal axis, and this is vertical axis. And for distance time graph, distance denoted by d is plotted along y-axis. So this is the general overview of distance time graph. Here also note that time is taken in second. Second is the unit for time, and distance is measured in meter. So meter is the SI unit for distance. So let's start with discussing different aspects of distance time graph. The first case in distance time graph is object at rest. In the graph shown in figure 2.18, the distance moved by the object with time is 0. That is, the object is at rest. Thus, a horizontal line parallel to time axis on a distance time graph shows that speed of the object is 0. In this graph, figure 2.18, you are noticing that the object is placed somewhere here at distance nearly 15 meters, and with the passage of time the body remains at its original position like this. So this line, which is horizontal line parallel to time axis, is representing the object at rest, because the body is not changing its position. That's why the body is at rest. It remains where when it was put. Here you also note that as the position of the body is not changing, that is, body is at rest, so there is no speed for the velocity. As it is not moving, so speed of the body is 0. So this graph may representing a body at rest, or you can say that the graph is representing any body with 0 speed, with no speed. So both aspects can be discussed with this single graph. The second situation is when object is moving with constant speed. Here the speed of an object is said to be constant if it covers equal distances in equal interval of time. The distance time graph as shown in figure 2.19 is a straight line. Its slopes gives the speed of the object. Consider 2 points A and B on the graph, here and here. So dear students, here you are noticing that the body is moving. This is the time axis, time is passing, and this is the graph or line for distance. So body covers some distance in some time interval. So it is, as it is covering equal distances in equal interval of time, that's why this graph is representing the body with constant, motion of the body with constant speed. Here the very important point we are going to learn is that speed means the line, the graph of speed time graphs, the line of distance time graph gives you the speed. That is, the slope of this graph gives you the speed. So speed of the object, let's find the speed of the object. Speed of the object as we just defined, speed of the object is demonstrated by slope of the line. Slope of line, here we mentioned 2 points A and B. Line A. So how to find the slope? Slope is actually the distance. Slope is also known as gradient. So the parallel name should be noted down. So slope of the line AB equals distance EF. This upstairs is for the vertical line, EF from this point to this point. You are noticing on the y-axis mean distance axis along the vertical line divided by time CD. Here you are noticing that CD. So this is the formula. You can also note that if I draw this horizontal line which meets C and D parallel to time axis, and if I move it like this, mean now it meets the point E and F. So here we see that there is a right triangle formed. So this CD is the run and this EF is the rise. So this is the perpendicular and this is the horizontal. In horizontal line, and you can say this is perpendicular or this is vertical line. So how to get speed? The slope of the line AB, distance EF divided by time CD. So let's put some numerical values here. Here you are noticing that while going from this E to F, how much distance is covered? It goes from 10 meter to 30 meter. Mean there are 20 meter, and for this time, for this distance, how much time is covered? So time is spent from this point to C D. You are noticing that time goes from 5 seconds to 15 seconds. Mean there are 10 seconds spent for 20 meter distance. So this is the simple way, and if you divide 20 divided by 2, we get 2, and as it's a speed, so what we get the unit from this division, meter per second. So you see that we can find the speed with the help of distance time graph. And how to get the speed? By just noting down the slope of the line in a graph of speed time. Distance time graphs, slope of distance time graphs gives you the speed of an object. Third case in distance time graph is when object moving with variable speed. So what is it? When an object does not cover equal distances in equal interval of time, then its speed is not constant. In this case, the distance time graph is not a straight line as shown in figure 2.20. The slope of the curve at any point can be found from the slope of the tangent at that point. For example, dear students, if you analyze the graph, you see that after 5 seconds, the body covers almost 5-6 meters, and in next 5 seconds, mean after 10 seconds, the body covers almost 15 seconds. So in first 5 seconds, the body covers 5 meters, and in next 5 seconds, the body covers goes from 5 to 15, 10 meters. Similarly, in next 5 seconds, mean after 15 seconds, the body covers how much distance? 30 meter. Mean it goes from 15 to 30. Mean 15 meters covers in this interval from 10 to 50 seconds. So as the body is not covering equal distances in equal interval of time, that's why this speed is termed as variable speed. So how can we find the speed of the object by this sort of graph? Speed of the object equals slope of the tangent at P. Slope of the tangent at P. Tangent at P. So from graph you notice that this slope is Rs divided by Qs. Here you note that this is the tangent dotted line here. You see here, and this is the Rs, and this is the Qs. Now let's put some numerical values. So Rs is 30 meter and Qs is 10 seconds, because it goes from 5 seconds to 15 seconds, means 10 seconds are spent. So what's the speed? If we divide 30 by 10, 3 meter per second. So this is how to find the speed through a graph, distance and graph of an object that moves with variable speed. Now it's a turn for second kind of graph, that is speed time graph. Earlier we were talking about distance time graph, and we had noted that the slope of distance time graph gave us speed of the object. Now let's talk about the speed time graph. Generally in speed time graph, if we draw the graph, time is again taken along the horizontal axis with time with second as a unit, and speed is taken along y-axis. And what's the unit of speed? Meter per second. So in a speed time graph, time is taken along x-axis and speed is taken along y-axis. As we saw in case of distance time graph, that distance and displacement is taken interchangeably if a body moves in a straight line. Similarly, if the motion is in a straight line, then speed and velocity are also used interchangeably. Again, a very important point is to be noted that the slope of speed time graph gives us the acceleration of the body. Of the moving body. So again, making the difference, we saw in case of distance time graph that slope of distance time graph gave us the velocity of the body, while in this case speed time graph, the slope of the speed time graph gives us acceleration of the body. So these two are very important points relating to graphical analysis of distance time graph and speed time graph. Let's begin with the first case in speed time graph, that is object moving with constant speed. When the speed of an object is constant with time, then the speed time graph will be horizontal line parallel to time axis along x-axis as shown in figure 2.22. In other words, a straight line parallel to time axis represents constant speed of the object. Here you are noticing that when we start observing the motion of the object, this origin is shown as time when we start observing the motion of this object. The body had 4 meter per second as a speed. Then with the passage of time, when time goes on in this axis, but speed remains constant, as you see this horizontal line parallel to time axis. So this graph suggests that the speed of the body remains constant throughout its journey. So this is the graph which shows the constant speed of a moving body. So dear students, there are two scenarios. Number one, this graph represents a body with constant speed. constant or uniform speed. And number two, if you note the slope of this line, then we say that the body has, as body is moving with constant speed, so the acceleration of the body is zero. So the body is not get accelerated. Acceleration equals zero. So this graph provides us two information. That is, the body is moving with constant speed and the acceleration of the body is zero. Now the second situation, when object moving with uniform changing speed, mean uniform acceleration. Here you are noticing that the speed of an object be changing uniformly. In such a case, speed is changing at constant rate. Thus its speed time graph would be a straight line as shown in figure 2.23. A straight line means the object is moving with the uniform acceleration. Slope of the line gives the magnitude of its acceleration. So let's find the acceleration through this graph. Here we are noticing that body goes from point A to point B. So this is the horizontal axis and this is the vertical. And we are noticing that the slope, the acceleration equal to the slope of the line AB. Slope of line AB. So what is the slope? You are noticing that the change in velocity occurs. It goes from, if you see here, 2 meter per second to 4 meter per second while going from A to B. So change in velocity is 4 meter per second minus 2 meter per second, and the change in time goes, you see here, it goes from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. So 10 seconds minus 5 seconds. So if we simplify it, we get 2 meter per second in upstairs and 5 seconds in downstairs. And if you simplify it more, you can get 0.4 meter per square second. So the body which is having this sort of graph is having acceleration 0.4 meter per square second. Dear students, you are also noting that as the speed of the body keeps on increasing, so it is a positive acceleration. Now the last situation in this speed time graph is when object is moving with uniform changing speed, that is uniform deceleration. Here you are noticing that the initial velocity of the body is here 6 meter per second, and with the passage of time, when time goes from this point of observation to here, after 15 seconds, the velocity of body is kept on decreasing. That's why it is retardation or negative acceleration. The graph in figure 2.24 shows that the speed of the object is decreasing with time. So dear students, let's see how much speed is decreasing from point C to point D. So as you come across that the acceleration in this speed time graph is equal to slope of CD. So at point C, you are noticing that as the slope goes from C to D, so So decrease in speed equals 2 meter per second minus 4 meter per second divided by how much time is taken? 10 second minus 5 second. So if you see the graph, this is actually the data involved here. So at point D, the body get decelerated when its speed decreases, and at point D its speed is 2, and when it was at point C its speed was 4, and the time is obtained to this time axis from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. So after simplification we get minus is from this simplification 2 meter per second is in denominator and 5 seconds is in numerator. So after simplification we can see it would be 0.4 meter per square centimeter. So this negative sign shows that the body gets deaccelerated, meaning it gets deceleration or retardation or negative acceleration. Dear students, the very important property of speed time graph is we can get distance traveled by a moving object with the help of distance speed time graph. The area under a speed time graph represents the distance traveled by the object. If the motion is uniform, then the area can be calculated using appropriate formula for geometrical shapes represented by the graph. Here, dear students, you are noticing that the journey of the body starts from this origin, and this first segment of the graph shows that the speed of the body is increasing from 0 to some 16 meter per second, and how much time is taken? 10 seconds, meaning in 10 seconds the speed of the body is increasing and reaches to 16 meter per second at point A. Then after this, from 10 to 30 seconds, mean other 20 seconds, the speed of the body remains constant, shown by this line 8b. So in this section AB, the speed of the body remains constant. And here note that this is 28, and this point where the journey ends is 30 seconds. So from 10 to 28, mean in 18 seconds the speed of the body remains constant, and upon reaching B, the speed of the body starts decreasing, and in further 2 seconds the body comes to at rest. So this is the whole story of the journey of the body. As you just learned, the area under a speed time graph represents the distance traveled by the object. So there are two ways to calculate the distance. Here, if you observe this pink colored graph, so the area under curve is either 3 segments in this triangle, this is some square or rectangle, and again this is a triangle. So either you can have the sum of the areas of these 3 geometrical figures, mean triangle, rectangle, and again triangle. You would get the distance. An alternative way to get the distance is by considering this whole area, and it looks like so. What kind of shape is this? It's a trapezium. So area under this trapezium gives you the distance. So let's calculate the distance through by considering the area of the trapezium. So the total distance equal area under the graph, and what is it? The trapezium because it's a trapezium shape. Trapezium O A B C mean this is O, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So this whole area is the trapezium. So let's move. So area of the trapezium equal 1 by 2 sum of parallel side multiplied by the height. So this is the formula for area of trapezium. So from the graph we see that 1 by 2, and which are the parallel side? This side AB and this side OC. So 18 second plus 30 second multiplied by height. Height, you know, this is the height from this is the height, mean 16 meter per second. So if you simplify, calculate the values, you would get 1 by 2 times 48 second multiplied by 16 meter per second, and finally upon simplification we are having 384 meters. So we have found the total distance traveled throughout the journey of this moving object by just considering the area of this speed time graph. So this is the hallmark of using the concept of graphs in kinematics in analyzing of motion. So some final words. In today's discussion we got graphical analysis of motion, and we discussed two kinds of graphs: distance time graph and speed time graph. The hallmark of distance time graph is that its slope gives us speed, and the very important characteristic relating to speed time graph is that its slope gives us acceleration. And last but not least, we have seen that we can also find the distance with the help of speed time graph. So dear students, this week finds you with a lot of information regarding kinematics, which is the branch of mechanics. Hopefully you understand the whole stuff which I produced before you. Hopefully you will be able to learn each and every topic which is discussed here. So meet you in next week with more 3 lectures. Up to that time, keep on learning, and see you next time. Goodbye.